voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules, your religion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making its way to the ring. From St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 245 pounds, the eight-headed predator,
Well, this superstar has all the tools needed to win this one. Now let's see if he can put them together. This is what it's all about. Two competitors going head-to-head to decide which one is truly the best.
I can taste blood that's crying. I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head. They counsel me. They understand. They talk to me. They talk to me. They tell me things that I will do. They show me things I'll believe. They talk to me. They talk to me. They talk to me.
and approaching the ring, accompanied by Paul Heyman, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing 286 pounds, Brock Lesnar.
You know, sometimes a superstar just has that look in his eye. And this is one of those times. I can't wait to see what happens when the bell rings and these things finally get to go at each other.
Man. This was a good one right here, KD. This was a good one.
One of the best ones in recent memory, actually. Very, very monumental SummerSlam. This was like it was a lot of fresh things that happened. Nothing recycled, something brand new, something we never seen before, matches and feuds we never seen before. So definitely something that was different.
And I remember this year because we needed a good pay-per-view because it was looking crazy. The 2016 was not a good year.
Yeah, WrestleMania sucked.
Yo.
Sucked. Yeah. Everybody was hurt. Everybody was hurt that year at WrestleMania.
Yep. Now look, guys. This year, WrestleMania 2016 took place in New York, guys. Brooklyn, New York, the Barclays Center, 15,974. And the main event was Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton.
The Beast versus the Viper. Also, too, this was the first year that the brand split was reintroduced. They brought it back. We had Raw and SmackDown broken up once again. Raw and SmackDown. Now, Randy and Brock different. They were not on the same brand. Randy Orton, SmackDown, Brock Lesnar, Raw. So it was inter-promotional brand match, which I liked. You know, and these two, of course, we know is from the same class, 2002. This was brought. It's always the four. You have Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar. Now Brock Lesnar has faced off against Cena as well as Randy Orton faced off against Cena, but we never saw Brock versus Randy. And I wish we saw Batista versus Brock. You had the one match at OVW, the training days, pre-NXT. But other than that, this was the first time one-on-one. This was a very good match. And Randy Orton hit RKO's out of nowhere. Brock, of course, he hit the F5s that he could do. It was a very good one-on-one match. And, the match ended unexpectedly.
No. We're gonna run it. We're gonna run the card, and we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that main event because that was key. That was key. Because that's what made this whole SummerSlam so surprising and different and weird and awkward. But we're gonna get to that. So the show kicked off, guys, with American Alpha, Chad Gable, and Jason Jordan. Yes, guys, Chad Gable. He was a tag team. And it was dope in NXT, man. Oh man, them versus the new arrival, or them versus Enzo and Cass. Take my money. NXT Gold, man. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay. It was one of the kickoff. It was the kickoff shows, guys. You know what I mean?
Remember, we got the network at this time, WWE Network. So yeah, this was all on the network. That's when they start calling it PLE. Like they do today.
Right. Yeah. We also had Sami Zayn and Neville. You know, guys, he's Pac now in AEW, defeating.
That dude is dope. He's dope. He's a dope wrestler. I like him.
Yes, that's a team right there. Sami Zayn and Neville. They defeated the Dudley Boys on the kickoff show.
Yes, they did. Yep. Very good kickoff to the event.
And this was the pay-per-view. This SummerSlam kickstarted the Sheamus and Cesaro's best of 7, which Sheamus, he kicked it off with a win. And this whole concept started the whole tag team that was Sheamus and Cesaro. So that was well done.
Yep, very, very well.
Now the next match, guys, is Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens defeating, I just spoke him up, Enzo and Cass, guys.
Yep.
And there you go, Jericho, the friend. This was the friendship joint. This was that whole friendship angle right here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were tag team partners. Yep, that was that's when the whole list thing started coming about. Well, that came later, but it was right before that. But yeah, this was a good. Like I said, it was the reintroducing the brand split. They were on Raw.
That. And the next match was for the Women's WWE Championship. Dana Brooke is banned from ringside. Charlotte defeats Sasha Banks to win the title. So, you know, that's more of that flip-flop thing that Sasha...
Oh, the hot potato title.
That's the thing her and Sasha, they do for each other's ego. Like, oh, I'm going to die if I don't have the belt. Me too. So let's just flip-flop it. Okay.
Oh, my God, yeah. I'm so glad they changed that title. That is the dumbest name I ever heard. No, I don't think they called the Raw Women's title. Still was a dumb name.
Now, Miz... He followed up with a win over Apollo Crews. Like poor Apollo Crews, he's still looking for some victories. But the Miz, he retained the Intercontinental title against Apollo Crews. And that was followed by one of the dopest matches I've seen in a while. This match, man, the house that AJ Styles built. AJ Styles versus John Cena, man. Talk to us, KD.
This is a good one. AJ Styles, that same year Royal Rumble, debuted. He had a couple matches. He was actually in WrestleMania 32. He faced off against Jericho. Him and Cena, they cut a promo. Still babyface saying, "Hey, Cena, you know, it's an honor to be here. Want to face John Cena." Then the OC came out. John Cena was standing in the middle of the ring, like AJ was going to defend Cena, and AJ clocked Cena, and then the OC stepped in, the club, they jumped them, then AJ was a heel. They had a match on Money in the Bank, but AJ won. and he had a little help from the OC. And AJ, I love how he cut the promo. He said, Cena, I have to beat you clean. There will be no club, no nothing. He said, when I beat you, Cena, you're going. This is the whole brand split. These two are on SmackDown. He said, Cena, you will come. I will see you come on SmackDown Live. You will say, AJ Styles, you are better than me. He said, if you don't, you're a liar. Either way, I win. That was a great promo by AJ. And AJ brought it. He just brought it. Anything John Cena brought to AJ brought it right back. Like he said, was no interference from the OC. And this pretty much solidified AJ as AJ can hang with the best of them. And after this will put AJ into the world title picture, which he did win from Jon Moxley, formerly known as Dean Ambrose, at Backlash that year. But AJ Styles really, he let the world know he could go. My only regret is I wish he came to WWE sooner, but we know why, due to personal reasons. So, other than that, this match was fire, man. One of the best feuds. Him and AJ always work. AJ and Cena always work well together.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I think he carried Cena. He made Cena look good in this one too.
He did. Being a veteran,
Cena had to pull out new moves. He had Cena pulling out new moves, slingshot off the rope.
What's so crazy is Cena is normally the one to quarterback the whole match, as you call it, the quarterback whole match. And it was AJ quarterback in this match. But we know why, because AJ is he has way more experience than John Cena. You know, they're actually the same age, but he had way more experience because AJ wrestled all around the world, New Japan, TNA, all of it. But he did make Cena look like $1 million in this match.
Right. Now, that match was followed by Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This is the World's Tag Team Championships, the Bullet Club versus the New Day, Xavier Woods. And that was a disqualification, so the New Day retained their titles.
These guys, I don't think they ever won the tag team belts. It's a shame. They never won these belts.
Yep.
Them two, the OC never won the tag team belts.
Wait, yeah, they did. They won the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. They had the SmackDown.
Oh yeah, they didn't have it for long. I don't think they had it for long.
Yeah, it was a cheap victory.
And I don't think they ever held on to any more belts. It was so quick. But yeah, I do remember that feud. That match wasn't long either. It was under 10 minutes. And then you had the sleazeball from last SummerSlam that screwed John Cena, Jon Stewart. He was there. He was actually there. He was at that SummerSlam too.
Right.
For 15.
And look, now following that, you just said something that was important. You said everybody was hurt. And you could tell when your co-main event for the WWE World Championship is Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler. Dean Ambrose defeats Dolph Ziggler to retain his title, though.
Yeah, this is actually one of 2 world title matches, and we'll get to that in a second. But this was the first world title match. Dean Ambrose him and Ziggler had great promo on SmackDown. Ziggler was like, Dean Ambrose, we similar, we the same. Dean Ambrose was like, no, we're not. He said he did a shoot on Ziggler. He said, Ziggler, all you do is complain and go to the front office about how you ain't getting pushed. He said, I don't do that. I just put in the work. He said, that's why I got this title. He said, people told me I want championship material. He said, I never cared. He said, you care what people think about you. All you care is it's your gimmick. Stealing the show. But it was a great back and forth. And Ziggler was like, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to defeat you. I don't care, Dean Ambrose. You don't have. I started out as a cheerleader for Spirit Squad. He went off that background because he was trying to say you came. And then and Dean Ambrose was like, he was talking about Ziggler. And Ziggler checked him. Ziggler was like, come on, we're not going to act like you came here in the Shield with Rollins and Reigns. We ain't going to act like you came here with 2 guys. Come on, Dean Ambrose. It was a good back and forth.
That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, they had a great. And Dean Ambrose I love his promos. He be shooting, bro. He don't be just going story. You could tell. Even his AEW promos, it's the same way he did WWE. It's just more unfiltered than AEW, obviously, but he shooted on basically telling Dolph Ziggler, which he's known for. You're known for complaining and whining about it should have been me. That's kind of how that started, and he told Ziggler, I don't do that. I just work and I get my opportunity. So
it should have been me.
Yeah,
and it should have been me.
Yep, it was a great match. It was a great match, and this was called the WWE World Championship, not called the. I'm so tired of WWE. They ain't changed this title name so much. Why can't it be WWE Championship forever? We heard it's not Undisputed WWE Championship, WWE Undisputed Championship, WWE World Championship, or just call it the WWE Championship. But they did that because, like I said, reintroduction of the brand split, and Dean Ambrose won this at Money in the Bank, cashing in on the previous champion Seth Rollins. Since he got drafted to SmackDown and he never lost the belt due to Rollins or Reigns never lost the belt, that was a SmackDown branded belt. And I know you're going to get to it later. Monday Night Raw needed a new belt, which they got, and they had the inaugural match that we'll talk about in a second. This is one of the 2 world title matches. But I just got irritated with that name. I'm like, why do they keep changing the name of this belt? It's called WWE title, man.
Right. And that's significant because when Cody said last year that I want the title that my father never won, he's talking about this title right here.
Yeah.
He's talking about this title. This was the title that Rollins had. This is the title that Rollins had. This is not the title that Roman had, because the title that Roman has, according at this SummerSlam, wasn't even created yet. But we're going to get to that, like how KDH just said. So let's get to that. Matter of fact, the next match on the card was actually a women's match. It was Nikki Bella, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss defeating Becky Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella.
Yeah, this was a 6-woman match, yeah.
And then they unveiled the Universal Championship, guys. You see,
I don't even. My deal is this belt officially retired? Because no one calls this belt Universal no more. Ever since Roman lost the belt, I don't even hear that title no more. I think they literally merged it with the WWE title. This title's pretty much done.
Yeah, because they rewriting history because they want Cody to get the title his dad never had, so they just gonna make it the title that his dad never had, even though the title that his dad never had belongs to him. It's all crossfire. Yeah,
this belt doesn't even exist no more, and this was the beginning of the end with that title. You see the it's red because it signifies the Raw brand. Like I said, Raw needed a new title since Dean Ambrose was on SmackDown. And it's the perfect color too, not just Raw because it's blood, and it seems like it's a cursed, bloody title. That's exactly what it is. It always ends in bloodshed, like someone's hurt, someone has to vacate it, or it's just bad. It was just a very cursed championship, and I know for what I've read that when they unveiled the belt, Brooklyn was not too pleased about this belt. They didn't like the design. They booed. They actually booed when they booed that belt. It's actually booed. They was not too happy about it.
And what's crazy about it, guys, at this point, the IC title is like minute, really, like, you know what I mean? So that whole IC curse is irrelevant because now it's on to this Universal title. But Finn Balor went on to defeat Seth Rollins to win the new title. We all know what happened. Finn Balor got hurt during the match and had to relinquish the title. So,
yeah. And the new champion will be crowned on Raw in a 4-way match. and that would be KO, as you showed earlier. He ended with a match with the help of Triple H, and he screwed Seth Rollins. But yeah, and if you don't know, that was Finn Balor's first match on the main roster in a world title match. Nobody has ever done that. He had just got drafted NXT to Raw. And that the fact that was his first match on a PLE and winning the world title, that was history making. They don't talk about that enough.
Big facts.
And he hasn't been a world champ since then.
Man, and that'll bring us to our infamous, and I say infamous, main event. Brock Lesnar defeating Randy Orton in a shocker. And when I tell you, I ain't never see SummerSlam turn off like this, like end like this. This the biggest party of the summer. They normally send home everybody happy. Man, KD, break this one down, man.
Okay, well, like I said, these two, they never crossed paths. They came out around the same time. Brock Lesnar, who's had a very good, respectable SummerSlam record. It's the same guy that beat The Rock at SummerSlam 02 to win his first world title. He beat Triple H a few years earlier, 2012, broke his arm. And he also took John Cena to Suplex City. But when Brock Lesnar is in the main event at SummerSlam for a world title or any match, it normally don't end too well. And Randy Orton will be no different. He immediately start attacking Randy Orton, getting that work. Randy was getting a lot of offense from Brock. Orton came back. He hit him with a DDT off the top rope, and he had with RKO on an announce table out of nowhere. That was all good. But when Orton tried to go for a pump kick and Brock Lesnar got him for an F5, he got a near fall, and we thought it was over. Brock didn't. Respect to Randy. Randy kicked out. But once he missed the punt and Brock got up, I said, Brock ain't losing this match. I knew then. I said, Brock ain't losing. Brock ain't losing. I said, he missed that punt. If he had hit the punt, Brock would have lost. I said, Brock. And this is when Brock stood in that ring. Now, remember like he stood in that ring, took them gloves off, said, I'm about to give you a beating, boy. You don't want to take this arcade? You don't want to take this F5? Okay, you gonna get these hands. Literally get these hands. And he legitimately hit Randy Orton with numerous elbow strikes, and Randy Orton was bleeding. And he won TKO. I'll never forget Shane McMahon, the commissioner of SmackDown, came out. He just wanted to look at Orton, and Brock Lesnar said, where you think you're going? And Shane tried to look over, and he F5 Shane. And we know backstage, Chris Jericho, he's friends with Randy Orton. He said, what's going on? And Brock Lesnar, they got face-to-face. Michael Hayes and Triple H and Vince broke up the situation. And Vince McMahon said the ending was planned. It was, but he wasn't supposed to legit take Randy out with the elbows. He was supposed to get him the blood. Brock Lesnar brought that. Long story short, he brought the UFC MMA into this match. He wasn't supposed to. He literally brought that into this match. What's so crazy about this whole match too that people don't talk about, and I don't hear nobody talk about this enough with Brock Lesnar. What's so crazy about this? Not only it was a legit thing. Brock Lesnar had an issue. He had an issue at UFC. I think this is when UFC, he did an appearance with UFC around this time. People don't talk about that. He had an appearance. I think it was like his last appearance. WWE gave him permission to have a UFC appearance. I think it was the last one he had. And what's so crazy about this is, I think this was around the time that Brock Lesnar was like suspended. Remember, he was suspended. He tested positively with the MMA. It was around this time. I think it was a couple months prior, but I know that he has something going on with the whole. He has something going on with UFC, and it was just wild because it was ouch. I mean, I'm like, man, Brock has so much going on at this point, and he couldn't pretty much be welcomed back to the MMA. he couldn't be welcomed back. So it was a wild situation with Brock Lesnar. He did win. I thought Randy would have got the dub. Like I said, once the punt was missed, I said, oh no. I felt bad for Randy when I saw. I said, oh no, Randy's not winning this match. You ain't no way Brock about to get up from a punt and lose. There was no way. I said that ain't gonna happen. It just was not gonna happen. I didn't see in the cards. I just didn't see that.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah, it was over, and it was over, but it was a great thing. It was just this SummerSlam. So many bad things happened. Finn got hurt, and Randy was taken out. It was so many bad things that went down because you remember on June, WWE granted Brock Lesnar a one-off opportunity to return to MMA at the UFC 200 in July, a month before this. And they said that Brock Lesnar would be back for SummerSlam. Remember, Brock was off TV. He was doing that stuff. Right. And the thing about it is they built this match 15 years in the making. But remember, July, WWE confirmed that it would take place despite of the US ADA notification in regards to Lesnar fight. He was out of competition sample collected on June 28th. He was tested positive for a banned substance. And then the second sample was taken in competition for July 9th. It was also tested positive, and it was believed to be hydroxychloroquine, and it was in a sample. And guess what? Brock Lesnar was not reprimanded for any of this, by the way. Despite him doing that, even though the wellness policy, he was exempt from that policy because he was a part-timer. Can we talk about nepotism? If that was anybody else, they would have got reprimanded for it. But not Brock Lesnar. Just wanted to notate that. That was behind the scene. He had an ongoing thing with MMA.
Oh, wow. That's good info.
People don't know about that. Yeah. That might make it to the locker room. Might talk about that. That man had issues with MMA. That's why he never been back. He was tested positive twice. And within a few weeks of each other. And WWE did nothing to him. He never got suspended for that ever. Now, you know, if that was anybody else, they would never got suspended. They would got suspended for that.
True.
They would got in trouble. I don't even think he got fined for it. He didn't even get a fine for it. And then you still let this man win. Even if he did get in trouble, they were like, okay, Brock, you got to lose due to that. Now Brock Lesnar, he's not suspended. You still get to win the match. He still gets to win. That was crazy. Now I want to notate one thing. That poster, if you look at that poster, if you go back to the original SummerSlam poster of everybody on the cover, if you notice in the far left behind Dean Ambrose, who is that? Isn't that Roman Reigns? Did you notice he's not on this card? He's not on this card.
Right.
Do you know why he's not on this card? Because he was suspended for taking for marijuana use and Money in the Bank, which you suspend for 30 days. Because that's why Seth Rollins there beat him for the WWE title before Dean Ambrose cashed in. That's why Roman's not on this card. People don't talk about that. Roman was suspended. But that's what I'm saying. Roman, way before the tribal chief day, this is the big dog, not the tribal chief head of table. This is the big dog. He wants the name he is now. You see how he got suspended for that? Even though he's a full-timer, but nothing happened to Brock. That's why Roman cut them probably like, Brock, he gets away with everything. Without anybody else, they get suspended. That's what I mean. Roman was not at this event because he was suspended. Roman was supposed to be at the SummerSlam, and he was not because he was suspended prior.
Good point. Great point.
That we didn't talk about Roman. Why are you talking about Roman? He on the card. Roman was suspended at Money in the Bank. That's why he lost his title.
Great point. Great point. Guys, we're going to get to the fifth one, and then we're going to make our pick. Don't forget to hit that like button. All right, guys.
This is a wreck. He's moving like an uncaged animal. No lie. He's wild in there.